Have you started the next meeting?
Let's try that one. Is that better?
Red is gone.
Perfect,
Alright.
thank you.
You want to
Okay.
rehash what we did?
We've approved the agenda. There's no public to be heard and there's no consent items. So we're moving on to business item A, 6A. So you reviewed the checklist and you now have a question.
Yeah, so if I find Nate, so this is trusting that because of our wonderful makeup, that we have information
Mhm.
on people just because we happen to be neighbors or what.
Yeah, you should tell the town clerk.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted to
Make a
clarify
list, yeah,
what.
because there are changes that do need to be made. I mean, I know that Linda Myers is still on her checklist and she moved to the center or the city, so. There's several, there's some deceased ones on there too that will,
Well, and don't forget,
Well,
these
no.
were people that,
this is a regular checklist.
oh, you looked at the regular checklist, okay.
Yeah, I haven't got to the other ones
Okay.
yet, so. Um,
So you can send me a list of those, especially the deceased, because we can just,
okay,
yeah.
all right, so,
So I have a question.
yes,
So, when we have a person that has got Alzheimer's and they're not able to function and they're in memory care, are they allowed to vote and have their families vote for it?
They're allowed to vote.
Yeah, and so why don't we, if that's true, why don't we give to those entities, Maple Ridge and the other ones, the ballots for those people so that they can choose to?
We
They
by
have to
law have
request.
to send the ballot to the person, the voter themselves, and the Secretary of State's office for the November elections. Law changed a year or two ago, a couple of years ago, that they mail ballots to all active registered voters for the November election. We don't even send them out, the state does.
and that's why we're trying to clean up the checklist.
Yes, that's why, yes. But if a person has Alzheimer's, you know they really can't do this, do they come off?
You
You
can't.
don't lose your right to vote because you,
So my question then becomes, you're answering that the way I would want you to answer it, but we don't give the people, or someone's not sending them to the people at the Maple Ridge because when Linda and I went to do a couple of people up at the ones on Carmichael Street, not everyone there got.
That's because they're not registered voters.
Or they are, or they didn't request a, oh.
No, we
right,
mailed them to
November,
everybody, they're
November,
not
yeah,
registered
right,
voters.
Right, they're not registered.
Or they were added to the checklist after the state pulled the
Okay,
list,
okay,
Right,
all right.
which
Okay,
then they
that's
pull it
what I
in
wanna know.
September, August or September.
Yeah.
There's so many little things.
but it would have to be a family member, like, I know there was a family member that wrote a letter to us saying, my husband's no longer capable, please don't mail him a ballot, and we took care of that, his name was removed. from The checklist because a family member requested it.
Is that when I was here?
Yeah, it was Tom James, so his wife.
That was before me. Yeah. He's deceased now anyway.
I know that, but I'm just saying, when he
Yeah, we
got
can't-
bad, his wife wrote the letter asking he be removed from the checklist, so.
She has to have authority to do that, I think.
She
Well,
would
she
have to
does,
have
she has
power of
power of
attorney.
attorney.
Oh, she's got power of attorney, then that's
So.
it.
All right, so, having reviewed the checklist. And agreed to send our corrections to Nanette. We can certify that it's completed?
Well, first you need to,
I'm trying to figure out these steps
Yeah.
here.
so you need to review the checklist. I sent
Which
the
they did.
Chittenden 23 and Chittenden 24 to everyone.
Okay.
I also included a list of folks who did not vote in the 2024 general election. That can be used as a guide for people that might not still live in, not Westford, Essex, sorry.
That's okay. We got you covered.
it can be used as a guide to highlight some folks that might not still live here anymore, because that's a huge election and most people vote in that election. It doesn't mean that these folks don't live here anymore.
So,
And I do, Jen did give me a list of, looks like 8 or 9 people that she knows still lives here, and so I won't send letters to those folks.
So my question is, what actual action then are we to give you to get this certified with the Secretary of State? Because technically, it doesn't really tell me here.
So, do you guys have people that you want me to challenge that were on this list or not, that you know have?
Yes.
Yes.
Those heckos, okay,
I don't, they're not, but that has to stay so.
okay.
so do
Okay.
we have to go down each page and go through it? Is that the only way to do it?
I would hope that some of you had already done it, but yeah. Ken.
Nanette,
Yeah,
so this list that I have in my hand,
which one do you have in your hand?
It's just the numbers.
I see somebody on here that should be removed.
If you see somebody on there that you know has moved out of
I
town,
just checked with their parent.
you
and
can let me know and I will make sure that they get a letter.
So I'll tell you now.
Yeah.
Under M. McDuff, Shannon. M,
Shannon, okay, yeah,
Has moved to Milton. Her father just, or his father, I don't know which it is, just told me.
Okay.
So, I got one.
We go 4, or do you wanna go through them now?
well, why don't you send me the names?
I think, yeah. Do all of you have names?
Yes.
I have 2.
Eric, is your sister still on here? Should she still be on here?
I don't believe she is.
She is.
She's
She
still
votes.
on here.
She
Really?
votes.
I know she votes, but I'm saying she doesn't live here.
Well.
What's her last name?
Post.
Oh, it's the same as.
I do not see any posts on this list.
Well, now I wrote her name on, see, that's what I'm saying. This list is different from the one I got on my,
This is the list of people who did not.
Did not vote.
Did not vote, which is
She did
different.
vote.
oh,
Right, so
she was
they're
on the
this
challenge
list that I
list.
have.
They're on
She was
this
on the
list.
challenge list. She was on the
Which one?
list
the
that you got
23.
from
Right.
her,
Um,
on the challenge list.
No, I mean which sister?
Anna, and.
Okay. Yeah, she still does intend to vote, and as a person living abroad, with an intention to return to Vermont and to Essex when circumstances are right,
Okay,
I believe that she would wish to remain on that list.
okay, that was my question.
Yep, hasn't moved to any other voting district in the United States.
There we go.
Yeah, she's on, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to assume that others of you have names to send to. So,
So,
Yeah.
my question is,
go ahead.
do any of you feel like I should send letters to everyone on this list?
With the exceptions of the ones we give you.
No, those are the ones you want me to challenge. I thought.
No, we're gonna
Well,
give you the
how
ones that like are dead or don't
Oh,
live there
that's
anymore.
different, that's different.
Yeah, this
Well,
one,
when, they're still on this list though.
Yeah.
So you want those?
there's still
Right.
an activist who's on,
Okay,
Well.
he's not there.
all right,
Just a libertarian.
so you tell me, okay, what's easiest for you, Nanette?
Well, it's whatever you guys decide, but I can send a letter to everyone on here. It only flags them as possibly not living here. They'd have to sign an affidavit if they came to an election and they could vote if they still lived here. Or if you guys don't feel comfortable doing that, you can send me individual names to send letters to. It sounds like you all have somewhat of a list, some of you.
Are we trying to come up with like a plan for, because we're gonna have to do this every couple of years, right?
Well, yes.
So are we trying to come up with sort of a policy that we use to purge the?
That's up to you guys as well. I'm new here. I'm in Westford. I used to go through the PTTRs and things like that, and
What is that?
property transfer tax returns. Which actually now Jen and I go through and we just send letters to them, because I think at one point the Board of Civil Authority authorized the clerk to do that. So,
I
We can
think
do that.
I think I'm a little confused as to who we're sending letters to. Are we sending letters just people who didn't vote in 24 or the purged list?
Challenge.
That
The
was
purged
the
list,
The challenge.
The
I'm sorry.
purge list,
Purged people are gone.
yeah, and the
Okay.
challenge list are already people that have been challenged.
Okay, so
Everybody on.
so you're gonna send a letter to everybody?
Only if you guys tell me to.
No.
Yeah, that
seems
like a
This isn't, that's not challenge voters, so it's just.
Just
voters
everyone who
who
didn't
vote.
vote, it's like half.
It was,
Yeah.
these were, this
Yeah.
list was created to kind of give you an idea of people who did not vote. That likely,
Yeah.
you know, could possibly have not have voted because they moved. It doesn't mean that they don't live here.
Right.
And I'm looking for your instructions as far as what you want me to do. I know some of you have some names. And I'm fine with you guys just emailing me the names. So that I can send the letters out to those folks only and not to everyone on this list.
Do we know what other towns are doing, larger towns? Because I feel like we're too big of a town to just go through this list and say, hey, this person moved. Like, I feel like we need a system.
I bet they don't go through the list. I bet they just say, yep, go ahead and send a letter, and if they're still voters, they'll respond to the card and we'll put them back on.
Eric?
Yeah, I have a question for Nanette here, but, do we have, I know the Secretary of State does, but do we have information on how many cycles they have?
Yes, that's what I was for.
Like, if they missed one, you know, maybe keep an eye on them, but if they've missed like 4 or 5 in a row, those are the people I wanna send a letter to.
Yeah.
I would have to pull participation lists for all those
20 years.
elections and then put them in an Excel spreadsheet and
Okay,
remove duplicates to come up with something like that.
Or even 2 cycles.
On top of that, when you pull,
national elections.
and on top of that, when you do that, there still might be people on that list that aren't on our checklist anymore because you're pulling a participation, a
right, but
non-participation
if
list.
I look at the statewide voter checklist, you know, which does get sent out every month by the Secretary of State, you know, that'll tell me who's registered in every district in the
Yeah.
entire state and which elections they voted in.
Okay,
So, I mean, do we have a similar list? Does that information show up anywhere on our list if someone wanted to inspect the voter checklist for? the
I don't know
town
how
elections?
they pull that list. I just
Okay.
know I can go in and get voter participation
Okay,
per election. Go ahead, Alyssa. Sorry.
So the Secretary of State, I know, sends out a, like, a postcard to people to sort of check on, and then anything that gets returned mail and not delivered.
What postcard?
They'll send out, like, I don't know if it's every 4 years or every.
Oh,
like,
we got 600 of those back the last time
Well,
he did
that's what
that.
I'm saying, is
That's
that's usually like the Secretary of
It didn't
State
sound like you
has
did.
kind of a purge themselves of just getting returned mail when somebody has moved, and I'm wondering how, I was gonna ask you how frequently the Secretary of State does that, but clearly
They don't touch our checklist,
they do for all voters in the whole state.
but
you
they
know,
don't
using
touch our
that.
checklist.
Okay,
We are responsible for our checklist.
okay.
They don't touch our checklist. When they sent out cards for the,
Pre-COVID or during COVID.
yeah, and I remember, I mean, I was still here, and maybe it was the school, they sent out all those postcards to see if people wanted ballots. And all of those that came back, that were undeliverable, et cetera, they were sent challenge letters
They were sent
because, yeah,
Okay,
we automatically set them up to get the challenge letter because there were a lot of them.
yeah, and all ballots that come back are checked, challenged, I'm assuming, in the general election.
So I can't remember if Jen and I did that part with the general election, but.
Can you explain the process if you sent a letter to everybody on this list?
Mhm.
Would they have to reply to that for that to
Yes.
be,
Yes.
to them to stay on the list?
Yes,
And would there be postage? Like, we'd have to pay postage obviously to send it.
right.
Would there be postage included? Like, it seems
No.
like a huge,
Yeah,
it's like a large expense.
Yeah,
for
it
most
is, yeah.
people.
No, there's not, return postage.
Okay.
We use a postcard though, instead of a letter
Okay.
for them to return. Or they could go onto the My Voter page and they could
Updated.
they could update their voter status there.
Or they could come into the office and tell you, hey, I'm alive.
Yeah, or if they didn't respond and then they wanted to vote, they can get added on the
Ken?
same day.
Well, they're already on the
Okay.
checklist already. They would just have to sign an affidavit swearing that they're still
That provide proof they
eligible.
still live there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
How about we use some statistics and we do a sample? Let's say you send out 100. And depending upon how many of the ones that are returned, say they're not in, if it's over a certain percentage which we could set, then we know we have a serious problem, we're gonna have to do a mass. Like the CLA has done, you know, they take a sample of the houses that are sold and look at the assessed value versus the market price, and they sort of do a statistical analysis. Just a thought,
I don't,
a way to save sending for everybody.
well, and we don't have to send to everybody. Again, you folks can tell me just the names of the people that you are aware that moved and, or have been, or are deceased, so that I can send those letters out to those.
I'm going to throw out a suggestion.
Is this gonna stir up like
This is
last one?
way too many people. First of all, I know a lot of people on this list that I know live there.
Okay, good.
This is way too many people. My suggestion is that we send letters to anybody that you all have identified. Literally, everybody I've identified is on the already purged list. I suggest we keep this list, and after the 2026 general election, we compare the people who didn't vote in 26
To
to the
these
people
folks.
that are on this list, and then we do something
Tighten
about
it
it. This is a lot of people, and I'm sorry, I barely respond to any mail at this point in my life. Nobody
Welcome to the club.
nobody is gonna respond, and it's a huge expense.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay, but what I would
Thank you
encourage you to
much.
do then is to go through and pick the ones you know
Send them in.
are not here and give them to Nanette.
By the end of the week, please.
By the end of the week, have Nanette then send the letters to those people only,
Mhm.
okay? Does that work for everybody? And does that satisfy what we're supposed to do with the Secretary of State?
Yes, it will.
Nanette
doesn't need to know the people we know who are still here. We're just gonna leave them.
Right.
Right,
Yep, we're just gonna leave them alone.
for one more election cycle and then they
Yeah.
automatically get purged anyway, so.
I wanna remind everybody, just to alleviate your fears, if you try to vote in any other town, your Secretary of State's gonna transfer your registration even on the spot on election day for you. And additionally, even if you move to another state, Vermont has a really robust system of other states. And will pull other states' voting records to purge people from Vermont. So don't feel like people, if you don't identify them on this list, that we're gonna have all these people voting, and
Right, right.
I'm gonna vote in Essex, and then I'm gonna go to Westford, and then I'm gonna show up in Jericho.
So I have just two that I know.
So I need a motion that this can happen.
I move that we table the purging of this list.
No,
No, you need a motion.
No, we're going to send corrections,
Oh,
We're
so,
gonna
yes,
send-
we're
information
gonna send
in that by
corrections
Friday,
by Friday to Nanette.
and she will send letters to those that we're questioning, and the rest will stay until the 2026 election.
Yes, that's what I want.
Can I just, they're not corrections. They're going to send me names
Names,
of people they believe no longer live in Essex
and those that, yes,
by
Okay.
Friday,
by Friday, okay?
and I will send letters.
All right,
To Nanette.
all right, and here's the net, okay. Motion's been made, your second.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, somebody look here.
Cynthia, I don't know, okay.
Yes, aye.
Iris? Yeah, Alexis, I can see you, can't see Iris, so,
Aye. Iris says aye.
all right, the ayes have it, the motion stands. Is there anything else you need from us this evening, Nanette?
Well, we have the,
No, wait, there's something else on there, wasn't there?
yeah, the
I'm
audit.
sorry, okay. I got the wrong one, that's great, Don. Sorry. All right, so audit of checklists and district boundaries in accordance with Act 70, Section 18. What does this involve, my dear?
Well, because we reviewed the checklist for a biennial review, the Secretary of State says that this can piggyback on there. Because you've reviewed the checklist. Now, I will say, though, Irene had sent an email to me back in November when I was out.
Mhm.
And I just stumbled across it today because I have not gone through all of my old emails. And there are 3 people on here that are listed in Chittenden 23, Irene?
It was as expected. They live on Orchard Terrace. Or they did.
Yeah. Oh, no, this is a different one.
Different one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, So I have reached out to, there's three people, and I've reached out to the Secretary of State's office, and I'm working with them to get them put in the right voting district. So, those are the only 3 that I'm aware of that are on the checklist, not in the correct voting district, and those are being rectified. Okay.
Those of you that have to go door to door, do you have any others? Any other corrections to be made?
And this is purely for districts, Chittenden 23 versus Chittenden 24.
So the motion has to then,
I don't think there is a motion.
all right, so we just had to talk, we just had to say it, that's what we're doing, okay.
You
All right.
talked about it, you reviewed it, and there's 3 names.
There's 3 names, okay.
And, you've confirmed that to the best of your knowledge, people are in their proper voting districts.
Yep, okay, sounds good. Is there any other business to come before this board this evening? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Motion's been made and seconded that we adjourn. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you all for being here, and I will keep you posted on what we find out.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
How much information do you want? Just names?
Yeah,
or
were
do
you
you need
asking
to-
about-
If you have an address, especially if there's somebody who has a similar name, that would be wonderful. I need Alyssa, I need you.
Yeah.
Does Cynthia have a question, or was she just saying goodbye?
I don't know, Cynthia, do you have a question?
Is there a question in the chat?
Yeah, I thought she was too frozen.
She's frozen.
Speakers.
We need
Check.
an IT
Cameras
person
were-
in here and
earlier.
get this place, fixed. I said that the last select board meeting.
But Tom and I could
Let's
do
see
it
if they
in
do
like
it.
10 minutes, so we-
Chittenden 23.